Hello, it's Dr. Littles again, and today I will discuss the application or the analysis section of the IRAC process. The first thing that we need to know about the analysis section is that it's the process of linking the facts to the issue of the case and the rule of law. Specifically, the way that you go about doing that is breaking down the law into its smallest parts. In the legal community, this is called an element. And so we're going to break the law down into the smallest parts, called the elements, and then we will apply the rule of law or those elements to the specific facts, in particular the key facts that Dr. Tucker outlined earlier. I have a suggestion for linking those facts to the rules, and I hope that you find that this is helpful. I call it the because or when format. Specifically, what you do is you first outline what the element is. For instance, in the battery analysis, we can use the element of touching. Then you say the element was or was not met, because or when, and then you list the key facts. Here's an example. The touching was not consensual, which is an element, and we're saying that the touching element was not met, or was met, but it was not consensual because, that's the link right there, the woman did not give consent to the touching. Those are the key facts in that particular fact pattern. Now, earlier, Dr. Brown discussed the specific requirements for civil battery in the state of Florida. But let's do a quick review. There are several elements. First, the touching, there must be some type of physical contact or touching with another person's body. Second, that touching must be unprivileged, intentional, and harmful or offensive. Harmful or offensive basically means that one, an injury was caused, or two, the person did not give permission or consent to be touched. And let's review those key facts one more time. There are three specific facts that we need to be concerned with. First, Mr. Alex Gonzalez, who is the alleged defendant in this case, was a local postal worker. He was not a police officer or anyone that had proper authority to arrest anyone or touch them under any circumstance. Second, Alex kicked Mr. Baker, or Ernie, 4 times, causing him to have a fractured collarbone. He must have kicked him pretty hard because I learned the collarbone is up here and not down there. Third, Mr. Baker resisted Alex's kicking. He did not want to be kicked. Otherwise, he would have said, yes, go ahead and kick me. But that did not occur, and it usually does not occur in real life. So now we're going to use the because or when format to link those specific elements to the facts of our case. There was physical touching of another person's body. Specifically, Alex physically touched Mr. Baker 4 times when he used his foot to kick Mr. Baker, another person. Second, the touching was unprivileged. As we stated earlier, Alex was a local postal worker. He was not a police officer or any other government official who was authorized to touch another individual. Third, the touching was intentional. Alex had the purpose and the knowledge that his touching or kicking Mr. Baker, who is Ernie, would cause some type of injury. In fact, an injury did occur because there was a fractured collarbone. And finally, the touching was harmful or offensive. Ernie never consented to be kicked. He never said, go ahead and kick me. He never said, I give you permission to kick me. Therefore, it was offensive and the resulting injuries caused him harm. Now, as an alternative, Alex may try to bring up some counter arguments. They will likely fail, but let's go ahead and discuss them anyhow. There are 2 possible counter arguments that he may discuss. First, he might say, oh, it was self-defense. That's the typical counter argument that most individuals use when a fight ensues. He's going to say, well, I didn't hit him. I was just trying to break up the fight. Regardless, because the elements are met of a civil battery, we've accomplished our goal with the IRAC process. Second, Alex may allege that Ernie actually committed a civil battery against him. If that is the case, you would have to go through the same steps that we've gone through so far for the IRAC process to determine whether a civil battery occurred specifically whether Ernie caused the civil battery toward Alex by going through those steps. If all the elements are met, then he could establish a cause of action. We completed the process for the analysis. We linked the facts and the elements together, and we discussed possible counter-arguments. Thank you.
I'm still Gerald Tucker. The steps for conclusion: recap of the legal determination reached in the analysis or application step. Consider the possible action or actions which a court may take or how it may rule. In conclusion, the battery fact pattern. Under Florida tort law, a civil battery occurs when an individual kicks a random stranger several times without police powers or official authorization to do so. A court will likely find that Mr. Baker can recover damages from Alex under Florida tort law because Alex's kicking constituted a civil battery under that Florida tort law. Thank you.